Hello, good evening, and welcome to my TEDx talk. My name is Daniel Gonzalez Montemayor, and today I'm going to be speaking about a very interesting topic that is having a huge impact and relevance in our society nowadays, and it's gender equality and its impact during quarantine. This is a very particular and unspoken topic that has been going on, in my opinion, for the last few months, and until now, I haven't really seen any real measures against it. So I figure out that if I tell you a little bit about the topic and its definition, its importance, its relevance, it may help to stop it. So I'm going to tell you about my propositions for stopping it and in order to expand the impact this project can have. First of all, let's remember what gender equality is. Gender equality is when people of all genders, no matter what, whether sexual preferences, women, men, have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Everyone is affected by gender inequality. Women, men, trans, and gender diverse people, including children, families, everyone has the human right that everyone shares. But why does gender inequality still exist? Well, there are many reasons. The main ones are racism, race-reject ideas, prejudices, machismo, homophobia, among many others. So, for a better explanation of this topic, I'm going to present to you a daily life example. Let's imagine you're in a situation that involves making a decision that might affect you the way you see gender equality or inequality. For example, let's imagine you're in a convenience store. You are doing your shopping. You are a normal customer, seeing other customers and cashiers, etc., and you see a homosexual cashier, which is doing his job and has the same rights as everyone of being a cashier. Whether a man, a woman, an old lady, everyone has the right of being a cashier. But you see a customer that refuses to be attended by him just because of his sexual preferences. Now, that's an example of gender inequality. But what would you do? What can you do to stop it? Well, first of all, you must stand for him. You must talk to the other person and try to make him realize that we are all the same, no matter our preferences, our gender, anything, we are all the same. Maybe this person that commits an act of gender inequality may not change his mind about homosexual people, but maybe at least he will learn to treat everyone with respect. You see, the trick is to always raise your voice and always try to make a difference. Now, let's imagine a different situation. Let's imagine different persons. First of all, there's going to be a woman, a regular woman, a young woman of about 30 years. Second of all, there's going to be a man on his 20 years, a very young man. Third of all, there's going to be an old lady, a lady that is more or less 80 years. And last but not least, there's going to be a transsexual guy. Okay, let's imagine these all persons are in a group that we're going to call society. Okay, these people live together, these people work together, they are all trying to achieve the same goal, that is that the society must work. Okay, so let's imagine that for some reason the young man decides that the woman is not as good as him, so he decides to give the woman less job, decides to give the woman less money, and with the time the regular man decides that the old lady, because she's old, because she doesn't have the same level of energy, for example, that a regular guy, decides that the old lady is no longer useful. So he decides to throw her out of the society. Okay? And finally, let's imagine that the man, which is theoretically the strongest, decides to kick out the transsexual guy because he decides that he's not as useful as him. You see what happens here? The man is trying to exclude everyone from its society, but she's not realizing what the other pros of having everyone in a society are. For example, the old lady has wisdom, has time spent, so by consequence, she knows to do many things. For example, women have many qualities that men doesn't have, and the transsexual guy has many more qualities that the man doesn't have, because we are all different and we are all important in a society, because everyone has a specific role that must be followed in order to make the society a better place. So when we choose to be unequal, when we choose to exclude someone, whether because of their preferences, because of their gender, all we are doing is damaging our society. All we are doing is destroying the society in which we live just because a small group of people decide so. So we must stand for it. We must see that we are all the same and we are all necessary and important in our role as citizens in a society. You see my point now? From centuries, inequity has existed. And we must stop now. Now that it's, for example, in the quarantine. This is my next point. And of course, we can see that it's an evident impact during the quarantine, with reports of, for example, women making less money for doing the same job as men, or people from other genders, whether homosexuals, transsexuals, etc., that had loosened their jobs or that aren't accepted in several companies just because of these prejudices. And there are many, many more cases, but these are the ones that are the most important. But how can we stop this? Well, first of all, we mustn't forget that we are always listening. As I was saying before, if you suffer or you see someone who suffers of this unfairness, of this gender inequality, you can't forget to raise your voice and call out for these people and companies that are committing these frauds. There are several groups, companies, organizations, everything that can help you to make the things right. And also, it's also very important to stay informed and always remember to respect everyone, no matter his gender, sexual preferences, deviations. We are everyone, we are all the same, okay? Well, this is all from my part. I really hope I can make a difference and stand for all these unfairnesses we are suffering day by day. As I was saying, in the quarantine, I think this has increased very, very much. And I think that if we start even with little actions, for example, like me, doing a TED talk about this topic, many people can realize that we are suffering from a great change, that we need to improve our world, that we need to be a better place for everyone to stand. We must see that we are all the same, that we all deserve the same things, and that we are all important in our society. So, I really hope you enjoyed this TED talk. I really hope you learned something today. I hope that you can apply these things you learned today in our daily life. You can start, for example, in home. You can start by being equal in your home, in your surroundings, with the people you love, with the people you interact day by day. You can start with these little things, and little by little, we can start improving our little societies in order to make the world a better place. Well, I think that that's all I can say. Thank you very much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed my TED talk, and I hope to see you one day and that gender inequality finally disappears. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.